Have you ever been made to feel that you weren't good enough? Ever been told that you should just settle? Ever been told not to reach for the stars? Growing up in a poverty-stricken community, I experienced a lot. I saw and heard a lot of negative things and found the influential people within my community to not be so good at influencing positive growth. With just a few months left in my senior year of high school, I can remember sitting behind the computer in the guidance counselor's office, applying for colleges. Now, I have to be honest with you, I had no idea what I was doing, but I was excited. Excited to be graduating, excited to be done with homework, and excited to party all summer. But that moment was short-lived for me. Because in that exact same moment, I had the guidance counselor come to me in the most sincere voice that she could come up with and tell me that I should just apply to the local technical college because that was more realistic for me. She told me that I shouldn't get my hopes up applying to a four-year university because it was basically out of my league. In that moment, I felt ashamed and I felt defeated, not knowing what had defeated me. It wasn't until later that I realized that what that guidance counselor was really telling me was that she and many like her had not prepared me for anything more than the local technical college. What she was telling me was that she and many like her had not done their job. What she was telling me is that she and many like her had failed me. It took a couple of days for me to decide to not tell my granny what this counselor said to me. Sorry, Granny. But I would like to tell you how I got here after hearing that. My life was no white picket fence, and I just so happened to have the most amazing grandparents in the world. Don't argue with me on this. Studies have proven this to be true. My grandparents made sure to instill a certain amount of confidence in me at a very young age that no one could diminish. For example, I could just be walking through the house, looking down, checking out my new shoes. And my granny would come to me and tell me, "Queenie, pick your head up. Always walk with your head held high." The older I got, I understood why she constantly said this to me. And no matter what, I made sure to walk with my head held high. Now, my grandfather has never been a man of many words, but whenever he wanted to have a serious conversation, it always consisted of him telling me he loved me, he was proud of me, and that I was smart. Oh yeah, and to not let the guys get me off track. I am more than fortunate to have had and still have my grandparents around to encourage me. But had I allowed those influential people that turned out to not be so influential influence me, where would I be? I can assure you that I would not be standing here today. But with my grandmother's words always stuck in the back of my mind, "Queenie, pick your head up. Always walk with your head held high." And with my grandfather's "I love yous" and "I'm proud of yous," I did apply to more than the local technical college. And I guess I wasn't so out of my league because that four-year university that the counselor told me wasn't realistic for me is now my alma mater. Upon my arrival, I was astounded by the educators. The amount of help, care, knowledge, and motivation they gave was amazing. Office hours? What were those? You mean to tell me that after class is over, the students have gone home, the educators actually sit in their offices just waiting for a student to come by for help. And that's if a student comes by at all. Now that's dedication. To understand my amazement, you have to know that I am a first-generation college student. I am a first-generation college student that graduated from a four-year university. I am a first-generation college student that now holds a master's degree. Don't get me wrong, though. It was not easy getting to this point. When I started, I was 4 hours away from home in an unfamiliar place. I had no friends, and I was extremely shy. And honestly, there were times when I just wanted to give up. Nobody prepared me for this, was all that I could think to myself. This isn't fair. How does this guy know the answer, but I don't? For a lack of better words, it sucked. And right when I was at my breaking point, and I did give up, I had an educator come to me and motivate me to press on. He took the time to listen and understand what I was battling with. He cared when he had no obligation to do so. At that moment, all I could think was, why does he care if I stay in school or not? If I did stay in school, why should he care if I did well while I'm here? These are the things that you think when your mind has been molded to expect educators to not care. But he explained to me that educators are supposed to care. Educators are born to care. Or, to put it in the words of educator Linda Wayman, educators are born to make a difference. Kids need someone that'll never give up on them. Kids need someone to believe in their possibilities unconditionally. I heard a story once of how a teacher gave a quiz with just 20 questions on it. A student missed 18 out of 20 of those questions. Rather than writing -18, the teacher wrote +2 with a little smiley face next to it. Now, I know you're wondering, why write +2 with a little smiley face next to it? Well, that student wondered the same thing. The teacher looked at the student and told him, "You're on a roll. You got 2 right, and you didn't miss them all. The -18 can suck the life out of you, but +2 says, I ain't all bad." We need more educators to motivate students to press on. We need more educators to bridge the gap of self-doubt to confidence. So I want you to be mindful of the example that you are setting and to hold others accountable for the example that they are setting for our youth. I want you to leave knowing that individually, we all have a responsibility to inspire the youth of the world. And always remember, kids need a champion, someone that'll never give up on them. There were people that didn't give up on me. Thank you.